Good evening, folks. This is Bill Breeden. Thank you for joining me for Constellation Tour number 60. Tonight we're going to cover the southern constellation Norma, the level. This constellation is best viewed from a southerly location, at least near the equator. I mean, you have to get pretty far south. And it's best viewed between June and August. So we've set Stellarium up for a 60-degree field of view on the 1st of July of 2021, and from a viewing location of French Guiana. And we are looking south, and I'm going to show you how to find this obscure little constellation. It's actually a pretty interesting one. So let's have a look. We're looking south here, and let's look pretty high up here. Boy, it'd be nice to be down at a location this far south. You can see Scorpius here, the claws. You can see Antares here, and you can see the curve here where the stinger is. You can also see the teapot asterism of Sagittarius. And we're simulating moderate light pollution. So if you look a little bit lower in the south, you'll find the star Alpha Centauri right here, and then this star here next to it is Beta Centauri. So to find Norma, what you want to do is look for Antares here in the heart of the Scorpion, and Alpha Centauri, and that's pretty easy to find because you've got Alpha and Beta Centauri right next to each other. So you want to look for Alpha and you want to look for Antares, and draw a line between these two, and right about the halfway point, right about here, is the constellation Norma, the level. It's in this sort of empty area of sky here, but it is, you can see here even from a light polluted location that there's some Milky Way here in the background. So there are things to see in the constellation Norma. So let's draw our constellation lines. And you can see here's Centaurus, and here's Alpha and Beta Centauri, and here's Scorpius here, the Scorpion, and here's Antares. So you draw a line between Antares and Alpha Centauri and go to about the halfway point. And this empty area of sky here is Norma, the level. Let's look at our boundaries. And you can see Norma includes all of this area of sky right here within this border. So with there not being really any bright stars within Norma, let's go ahead and travel to a darker location. Let's make it dark. Oh, wow. Sometimes I get overwhelmed by these dark skies from these more southern locations. To see Scorpius and Sagittarius that high up in the sky would be amazing. So let's try to find Norma, the level, again, here from a dark site. So here's Alpha and Beta Centauri, and here's Antares, and you can see the Scorpion here of Scorpius, the J shape. So let's draw a line between Antares and Alpha Centauri and go about halfway between them. And these here are the stars of Norma. Let's have a look at the mythical figures. And you can see here's Centaurus, and his leg here makes up Alpha and Beta Centauri. And here's Scorpius up here, and here's Antares. So halfway between Alpha Centauri and Antares, you have Norma, the level. Okay, so I have a few things to look for in Norma. Let's start with a double star, Gamma Normi. And this is a 5th magnitude star located 1,470 light years away from Earth. What a nice area of sky. Look at all that Milky Way. And here we are in discovery mode again. This is not a constellation I've had the privilege of exploring for real. So for now, Stellarium's as good as it gets. But you can see there's a lot of nice pairings and groupings of stars here near Gamma. Let's see, that one's labeled Gamma 2. This one's labeled Gamma 1. So this is your double star. So let's put low power on it. And you can see they're actually so far apart you can't get both of them in the field. Unless, wait a few moments and let the stars drift, and you can see the other member of this double star enter your field of view if you don't have tracking on. So for example, a Dobsonian. So you can see just here in the last few seconds that Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 Normi are now both in the field of view of this eyepiece. That's a spectacular view. That's pretty impressive. Okay, so let's go back out to our binocular field of view. And you can see what we were looking at here. Here's Gamma 1 and here's Gamma 2. And it actually looks like Gamma 2 may be a little bit more interesting just because it has all these other components near it. Now that would be really nice. And this one here looks like it's another double star. Yeah, they're not really labeled here in Stellarium, but that's a nice little pairing too right there. I think one of the reasons that I like double stars so much and open clusters is because I live in a light polluted city, and these are doable from the city. Okay, let's go back out to a naked eye view. And I've got another double star here to look for, and that's Epsilon Norma. And this is a 4.4 magnitude double star located 530 light years from Earth. It's right in the Milky Way here. So this is great. So let's see if this one splits if you get closer to it. Yes, it does really nicely. That's a nice one. So that's Epsilon Norma. I'd like to get my bearings and see where I'm at in the constellation. So you can see you're just with the constellation lines drawn, where the Epsilon is the top star here in this shape here that they've drawn here for Norma. Okay, I have another double star here to find, and that's Iota Norma. This one is located 140 light years from Earth. Now let's see if this one splits. So that one itself doesn't split, but it's labeled as Iota 1. So Iota 2 could be nearby. There's Iota 2. Okay, so these two stars here are considered the double. And they look like they're a good degree apart, so you would need really low power to see these in the same field of view. So this is simulating a binocular view, so you really have to have low power to get Iota 1 and Iota 2 in the same field. Very nice field of view. And again, this is how you discover things. I see an open cluster here nearby. Let's see if we can have Stellarium tell us what we're looking at here. Okay, that is known as the S Norma cluster. There we go. That looks really nice through a low power 24mm eyepiece. The S Norma cluster. There's a lot of exploring we can do while we're here. Look at all these other open clusters. So let's turn this back off for a moment. And because you wouldn't have that if you were just panning around with your telescope. Now here's the double star we found, Iota 2 and Iota 1. So if we were in this general area of the sky, we would see a few other objects of interest. Here's another cluster. Let's see if we can get a name for that. NGC 6025. Or Caldwell 95. I've never been that far down the Caldwell list. This has a declination of minus 60 degrees south, so this is way beyond my ability to observe it, being from St. Louis. And here's a view of NGC 6025 through a 24mm panoptic eyepiece. This is a 5th magnitude open cluster located 2,500 light years from Earth. That's why I like to turn these off when I'm just perusing the sky. The sky gets too cluttered otherwise. Okay, well, this concludes my tour tonight of Norma the Level. Good night and good seeing.